Hey guys, my name is TheRealest, and welcome back to Destiny. Today we're going to be looking at the Monte Carlo. Now, as many of you know, the Monte Carlo used to be a PlayStation exclusive auto rifle, but in year 2, Bungie decided to bring it to all consoles. Now, the Monte Carlo is very interesting because it's a very exotic looking auto rifle. The auto rifle features hip fire. This weapon has bonus accuracy while firing from the hip. The exotic perk is Monte Carlo Method. Dealing damage with this weapon reduces your melee cooldown and grants a chance to fully recharge your melee ability with each kill. Now, this is very interesting, especially now in year 2 if you're running a Night Stalker. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm running a Night Stalker Hunter with the Grasps of Seal Ahamkara, which gives me 2 smoke grenades, basically. Now, I do have to admit that I do use this loadout very often. The Monte Carlo really gives you the option to use smoke grenades as often as you want, especially if you're getting consistent kills. Come on. Oh, Twilight Garrison. That Twilight Garrison really messes with me sometimes. And of course. Alright, let's go look for some enemies. Oh, there you are. No, run away. Alright. Oh, yeah, special. Come out wherever you are. Oh, there you go. You stand no chance against me. Oh, run away. Yeah. One thing I love about the Monte Carlo is that it's... Wow, who is using the thorn? They need to stop it. One thing I love about the Monte Carlo is that it's extremely stable. And I actually advised one of my family members earlier this year not to use the Monte Carlo because I thought it was a terrible weapon. And especially in year 1 when, you know, the auto rifles were super nerfed, you couldn't barely use them, you couldn't hope to get any kills with an auto rifle because they were just basically useless. You would have to rely on the Thorn or Hawkmoon, basically the most broken weapons in the game to get anything done in the Crucible. But with the patch, they actually brought up the auto rifles to pretty good levels. I still don't think they are where they should be, but they're definitely better than they were before. And this makes it good for people that like to use auto rifles because a lot of people don't really want to use, you know, pulse rifles or hand cannons all the time. There are very good auto rifles out there, especially exotics such as the Monte Carlo and the Suros Regime, that are just amazing, and they couldn't really shine in year 1 because they were nerfed so harshly. Another auto rifle that's really good, and in my opinion, is the Hard Light, especially with the fact that the bullets don't have any damage fall off. But the Monte Carlo, I really started using it for a little bit earlier this month, and I started loving it. One thing to note is that in year 1, when the Monte Carlo was out, people tended to use Field Scout on top of the other perks. The middle perks include high caliber rounds and Send It. High caliber rounds, of course, helps you stagger your target, and it makes the weapon a little harder to use. And Send It gives you greater range and accuracy, but it also makes it a little harder. And Field Scout increases the carry ammo capacity. But in year 1, Field Scout didn't do this. In year 1, Field Scout meant that you had more bullets in your magazine. And of course, because of that, a lot of people used Field Scout in year 1, and that's not really an option anymore. You put on the Field Scout perk, and essentially what you're doing is you're just increasing the overall amount of bullets that you can carry, not really the amount of bullets you have in your magazine. And that's very problematic for PvP players that don't want to spend all of their bullets killing just one target and then having to reload. The upside of this is that the Monte Carlo has really high reload and really high stability, so you can pretty much get a kill or two or maybe three with a full magazine. You can also choose between the three different muscles. The three different muscles are CQB ballistics, smart drift control, and aggressive ballistics. Now, I've seen some people use aggressive ballistics, and honestly, I don't recommend it because I wouldn't sacrifice the stability for just a little bit more impact. On my research, I found that by switching to aggressive ballistics, there's only about a 9% increase in damage, and the stability, you can notice it. It's not terrible, but you can notice that there is less stability in the weapon. But again, like I said, I would much rather have smart drift control because I just don't think the extra damage is worth it. Now, when it comes to PvE, this is not one of those weapons that I would use in PvE regularly. Maybe if it was something where I needed to go invisible all the time, maybe I would use it in that sense because Night Stalkers, they have the invisible grenades, and essentially if you're in danger and you have the Monte Carlo, shoot a few targets down, you get your melee back, and you have your smoke grenades. But overall, I found it to be a good weapon. I'm not gonna say that it's a bad weapon. It's a very good weapon. You can pretty much shoot a few targets down with a single magazine, and the reload is really what makes this weapon usable in PvE. Because if the reload was really bad, I don't think a lot of people would be using this in PvE, and I don't think a lot of people do anyways. This weapon is primarily with PvP in mind, and it's fine that way, honestly. This is not a weapon that I would use in PvE all the time. I'm not saying it's bad. Again, I repeated myself and I know it because I have to make this point very clear. Not all weapons are made for PvE. And I think this one could pass, but I don't think this weapon was made for PvE. And it's usable, it's very usable. I can take targets down fairly quickly. I can put on a lot of damage. And especially with the tether on the Night Stalker, you get pretty good damage out of it. But when you have exotics such as the Salus Supercell, that is pretty much king for PvE at the moment, chaining lightning to all your foes, and the double kills keep granting you extra ammo. When you have weapons like that, I don't think that it's necessary to be using something such as the Monte Carlo. Honestly, this weapon does deserve the term exotic, and they did a really good job with this weapon and buffing it, making sure that it's usable in year 2. But guys, don't take my word for it. Please go and check this weapon out if you haven't. I know a lot of people had it in year 1 and they stopped using it because it just wasn't viable. Even now, when you have auto rifles such as the Doctrine of Passing and a few others that just wreck in PvP, I can pretty much say with confidence that the Monte Carlo does not lag behind. I use this a lot for Trials of Osiris. I use it a lot for Control, and the reason is very simple. I can use this weapon to get my grenades, my smoke grenades, almost instantly every minute or less. I can have 2 smoke grenades, use both of them, kill somebody else, and have a smoke grenade instantly. And that's what's great about this weapon. It's honestly a Night Stalker's best gun. I can say the same for other subclasses because besides the Night Stalker, I don't really melee a lot. Unless it would be, the Titan shoulder charge. But even at that, you don't need to have a full melee charge to be able to shoulder charge. So it's great for a Night Stalker. Definitely use it. If you have the Grasp of Steel Ahamkara, oh my gosh, be sure to use that build. It is one of the best builds I have discovered, and it is honestly one of the only builds that I use on the Hunter, because honestly I don't like any other subclass. But definitely check this weapon out. But guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like what you saw, click that like button. If you like to see more content like this, click the subscribe button. If you have a specific weapon you would like to see a review of, leave it in the comment section below. For all the latest info on my channel, follow me on Twitter. The link is in the description. My name is TheRealest. This has been the Exotic Review. Stay safe, and I will see you next time.